Today, we're going to take a closer look at one of my favorite segments, the semiconductor market, right? I want to take a closer look at some recent updates with advanced micro devices, AMD and NVIDIA, obviously two companies very, very popular in this space. But before we take a closer look at those two companies, I just want to thank everybody for all the support that I've received over the years and kind of the ability for me to continue to do this as pretty much my full-time job. So thank you again to everybody for all the support. Hope everybody's having happy holidays, spending great time with the family. Merry Christmas. Hope everybody ate a lot, and in the upcoming days, right, the market will be open and hopefully we can get some great videos out. Like I mentioned, today we're going to take a closer look at AMD and NVIDIA, so let's get started.
I do want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
So we can see in the past 5 days, right, last week was pretty crazy for the overall market. AMD had some nice ups and downs, and in the past 5 days is down roughly 1%. We can see this volatility continues to hit the market. Year to date, unfortunately, AMD is sitting at $64.52, down 57%. Now, if we take a closer look at NVIDIA, in the past 5 days is down about 8.3%. Micron Technologies did report earnings earlier last week, and it did affect the semiconductor market to some extent. I wonder if that's why AMD took a huge hit last week. Year to date, we can see the stock is down roughly 50%, sitting at $152, and it probably sucks a lot for a lot of long-term investors, right? It's definitely not the best time to look at our portfolio, but I do want to say, in my thoughts, these two companies, AMD and NVIDIA, continue to provide great technology. So while it does suck in the short term of things, I do believe these two companies have huge potential to be great returners in the long term of things, right? Again, right now, and maybe in the short term of things might continue to look bad. Consumer market is definitely seeing still a bit of numerous headwinds, like we're seeing in the market right now. So obviously that will affect companies like AMD and NVIDIA. So like I mentioned, today I want to take a closer look at some updates happening with these two companies. Let's start off with one of my favorites, NVIDIA. The first thing we need to know is on January 3rd, NVIDIA is expected to do a special address for CES 2023. So we are expected to hear maybe some of the new consumer solutions, right? This is more of a consumer electronic trade show happening in Las Vegas. So here we're more expected to hear more consumer products. We have some rumors of what we might hear, but this is going to be a recorded I do believe it's going to be a recorded video, not an actual live stream, and it's expected to come out January 3rd at 8 a.m. Pacific time. The products or consumers items that we are expected to hear from NVIDIA during this is going to be a little bit more about their laptops, not on the 3000 series, but on the 4000 series. The 4000 series just recently came out for NVIDIA in forms of desktop solutions. We're going to be moving that into the laptop market. I'm pretty sure we're going to hear more about that. The other thing is a little bit more on their desktop GPUs as well, right? GeForce RTX 40 series is only out with the 4090 and the 4080 right now. Obviously, there's a lot more cards, the 4070, 4070 Ti, the 4060, the 4060 Ti, maybe even the 4050. So I do expect we're going to hear a little bit more about the consumer graphics cards as well. Unfortunately, like we all know, the gaming market has definitely been a huge headwind or huge hit for NVIDIA at the moment. We can take a closer look at quarter 3 of fiscal year of 2023. That revenue segment was down 51% year over year and 23% quarter over quarter. So it is important for companies like NVIDIA to continue to deliver new consumer solutions, even with the overall headwinds we're seeing right now. What I do expect is happening is companies like NVIDIA, companies like AMD, they're taking a little bit longer, right? They're prolonging their generations. So I would expect if the consumer market was a lot stronger right now, NVIDIA would have already released a lot of these kind of graphic solutions, and they would have done it a lot faster than they are doing now. I do believe right now they're just waiting for inventory corrections to finish off. So they're taking their sweet time releasing their new solutions, right? It's a month apart right now. We haven't heard too much about the 4070, 4070 Ti. I do believe AMD is going to be doing the same thing with their CPUs and their GPUs. So I think, I mean, again, for the overall consumer market, we heard from Micron that this is it's still a nice amount of headwinds happening, at least for the first half of 2023. So I do believe for Nvidia and AMD, the consumer side will still be weak, maybe in these upcoming 2 quarters. Another upcoming event for Nvidia is going to be on Thursday, January 5th of 2022. Again, it's going to be during CES, and they're going to do kind of an annual tech auto forum for JP Morgan. Here, they're most likely going to talk a little bit more about their automotive solutions. I don't really expect anything new here. It's more just going to be an update on this market. Obviously, if you want to learn more, make sure to stay tuned to this channel, as I probably will be doing a more of an overview of it. So make sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up. And if you want to support the channel a little bit more, make sure to subscribe using my link at fool.com/Jose. And if you are here, it means you're a semiconductor investor. I have a weekly semiconductor podcast. The link is above. We have about 7 episodes right now. Great topics in the space, so make sure to check out that channel as well. All right, so now for the second company I want to kind of do a quick update on is AMD. Again, another very popular company in this space. First is going to be about their CES. They do have a live keynote happening on Wednesday, January 4th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we are going to be joined by Dr. Lisa Su, which is the CEO of AMD. Here, again, very similar to Nvidia, we expect more consumer products. The items that we are expected to see or their AMD Ryzen 7000 series. We expect maybe more versions of them for the overall desktop market, but not only that, maybe we might hear more about those solutions for the laptop markets. Then we also have maybe some more AMD GPU products. We just recently saw their high tier product. We might expect more of their mid tiers being released or announced during CES. Again, this is mainly consumer based product. Again, like I mentioned earlier, AMD's revenue segment in form of the consumer market is here the client revenue, and that was down 40% year over year. I don't expect this to change again in the next few quarters. I do believe we might still see some weakness Q1 and Q2, but maybe no longer the big drops quarter over quarter that we have seen in Q3 of 2022. Some other things affecting AMD right now is AMD is not only combating the likes of Intel in the CPU market, they also seem to be combating themselves. Here we can see that AMD's 5000 series is a little bit more popular. Based on this study that we see in videocards.com, it actually is 4 times more popular than the new Zen 4 model. Main reason is there is a higher price to update to the new Zen 4 7000 series opposed to the Zen 3 5000 series. So right now AMD is not only combating Intel, it's also combating itself with older products, and that seems to be not that great of news, especially again during this consumer headwinds that we're seeing. Some final news for AMD, we are seeing that AMD's 7900 reference boards cards are seeing a bit of overheating issues. These are not in all their graphics, just the reference boards, but again, we are seeing this from AMD and Nvidia that, hey, this new generation seems to be very hot to some extent, and there's obviously some tweaking that needs to go around. I don't think this is anything to be worried about as an AMD investor, but you might have seen it and might be worried. Again, the GPU market is very, very small for AMD, so nothing to worry about. So I think that's it for updates for AMD stock and Nvidia stock. I do want to say, again, long term, I'm super, super bullish in both these companies. I expect them to continue to do well in the long term of things. In the short term of things, at least for the next 2 quarters at least, I do believe there's going to be heavy volatility due to the overall kind of headwinds and bearish thesis that could be kind of happening. Again, all these companies also have other segments like data centers, like automotive, and the list goes on. So long term, super bullish. Short term, kind of bearish. At the same time, I have no intentions of selling any shares, just holding long term of things and seeing that volatility in my portfolio. So take care, have a good day, and see you next time.